It does seem like this duality. Where, when I'm happy and I am living in my bubble and I have the right focus, everything is bliss. But, right, there's always a but. I guess I still grapple with the fact that, being that naive when I was enticed by things, and it was definitely major lessons I had to learn, no doubt about it. I wasn't loving myself, so I was looking outside myself. So the things that entered my sphere were the things that I was attracting based on my vibration. It's the reality of it. Hard pill to swallow, but it's the truth. And so it's like you only have to have a little bit of that vibration in you to draw it in, right? That's why I've said to you before, it's like, don't kid yourself, right? Like, we all have work to do. And you hear how strong I am. So it can happen to anybody. Okay, so how can I explain what they were showing? It was this idea of, I definitely had tons of work to do for sure. And I definitely was naive. Oh, God. But so then it is like anytime you seek outside yourself, you're fucked. Truly. See, that's number one key always. But nonetheless, it's like none of that would have happened. So this next part would be irrelevant, right? So if you're loving yourself and honoring yourself, that's where you're staying and vibrating, but you're always choosing yourself. So you're fine. But if you're not honest with yourself and you're not doing that work, and you're lacking somewhere, that's where shit can go wonky. And so if you're lacking and you're naive, okay, that's what I think they're trying to show me. So if you're lacking and you're naive, so you're one who lives in a bubble, right? You have your head in the sand. You don't really know what's going on out there. That's when you can get really double bamboozled. Because it's like you didn't even know to look for any of those signs because it was never in your realm or in your world or in your conscious. Like it just wasn't. And so it's like now looking back at so much, it's like, what the fuck was I thinking? And it was lack. I was coming from lack. But it's like now knowing today's climate, what's going on in this world, never. But it's like, again, that was never in my vibration. That wasn't previously. So it wasn't in my, this is why it can sound so naive. I just wasn't aware. It just wasn't in my world. And if you heard whispers on the outskirts, that's all it was. It's like I'd let it be that, exactly that. I had no interest, so why listen more for those whispers? It's of no interest to me, and it's not in my world, and I didn't think anybody I knew was behaving in such a manner. But again, so silly, so naive. And that was part of the problem. I was so shocked by so much that I was like, all right, well, fuck it. If everybody's doing it, and I guess I'm just the fool who's left out. Like and it's just the wrong attitude, first off. And yeah. Okay, so that's all part of it. But then the other thing they were showing me is, it is how quickly we normalize things. Truly, we quickly dismiss things or brush them aside or don't question them. It's like, it might be the first time it's uncomfortable when you hear or see or notice, but it's like you take the hit. Don't take the hit. Always love you. But unfortunately, that's what we do. We take the hit. Sometimes it's out of shock. Sometimes you're like, wait a minute, what did they just say? Or what just happened? Or what did I just see? Or wait, what? But then they keep doing it, right? It's like, so we start to get normalized to things that we didn't want to get normalized to, and we don't feel like we agreed to it. We don't feel like all these things, but the truth is you have to love you. You have to put in the work to stay in your own alignment and choosing your focus. Otherwise, you just get swept right back down and under. You start going with that stream, that easy flow. You'll get swept right up into it. And so, oh God. So that's what they were showing that too. But it's almost like things are happening so quickly and so fast now that it's just like one big pounding after the next. And it is always like, it's kind of, how do I say this? It's like this massive thing is going to be so disturbing to so many people and on such a scale. So it's coming. And so the idea is, okay, well, let's give them something similar, but not as shocking, still a mess, still traumatizing, still holy shit, still whatever. But it's almost like soften the blow or excuse the next behavior. I don't know how else to it's like walking the elephant across the stage, but everybody's so distracted looking at something else, they don't even see the fucking elephant that walked across the stage. It's like, how did you fucking miss? There was an elephant that walked across the stage. How the fuck did you not see it? How is that possible? Because you were so distracted by the other thing that was calling your attention. And so this is what's happening all the time. This isn't something new that you haven't heard of before, but you could probably see that happened and is happening more and more and faster. So we are getting normalized to how horrific things are and so then it's even more challenging. It's like, oh my God, like I can't even stick my head in the sand because even the sand has shit going on, right? It's like you feel like you can't avoid it if you wanted to avoid it. And so it really makes it even more challenging for you to really love yourself and stay in alignment with yourself and honor yourself. And so that's the task. That's the challenge. Are you up for it? Because otherwise you see what happens. You get swept up into other streams and you find yourself fighting for your life or debating why you're a victim or why you're not, or it's like you start living a life you don't want to live and you claim you didn't choose it. Well, that's the part that sucks. You did choose it. You could have chosen anything else any other time, but you didn't. And we all get swept. It's like I'm not trying to blame you or shame you. It's like I'm actually trying to set you free, because if you keep up with that rhetoric, then that's it. It's like you feel so hurt and so much is thrown away. Well, throw away the rest then. Because if you can't get out of that, you can't get out of your own way, it's like time just keeps slipping by. But that's happening to all of us on all different scales and all different dynamics. So you can definitely argue for your limitations, bitch about the horrific stuff that has happened, because I don't think anybody's gone unscathed now. I think everybody's been hit with a horror story. And so we can get back into the debating of whose horror story is the worst, but I'm happy to give you the award and I want to go live. So you win, right? It's like, who wants to debate that anyway? But people do. Well, you don't understand. You're totally right. I don't. You definitely get the horror story award. Here you go. You can have all 50 of them. Bye-bye, right? Go on and live your life. Otherwise, you stand there arguing or listening to it. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not easy to train your focus, and it's not easy to love yourself in this world and be authentically you. But that's a choice. You can give way to it or you can rise above it. And everybody has to, you have to fight your own battle. You have to love yourself so much, and you do have to look at it like you're fucked. You are in this world alone. So you better connect to your higher self and to unconditional love, because that's the only protection you have. It's like you cannot count on or trust any other human outside of you. And I know that's such a fucked up, twisted way to look at things. And it's like, I don't want you to be that way. But there's a lot of people who they really want to play the victim card. And it's not helping them. And it's like they're destroying the rest of their lives still talking about the thing that they hated. And so it still keeps it in the forefront of their mind, and it still keeps calling that dynamic in. So they think they can't get out from underneath it because that's all they talk about. So then they keep calling it in, and it's like it's confusing the mirror, the universe, right? It's just a mirror. So, man. I just keep trying to think like how I can say it or how I can, because it is such a sensitive topic where it could sound like I'm cold or insensitive. No, just the opposite. I know you are worthy. I know you are good. I know that you really want to feel good and that you really are sorry you went through that. You're sorry that you didn't love yourself enough to stand up for yourself and get the fuck out of there at the first sign. I know you feel bad that you wanted to be popular, belong, or get money, or be loved, or all these things because you didn't love yourself enough. You didn't think you were worthy enough. You thought that you lacked that from within. So you were lying to yourself all that time. And because you were lying to yourself all that time, you accepted a lot of behaviors because you wanted to get. And so that sucks, doesn't it? Who wants to swallow that? Because you don't want to think you called in that horror story to get what you wanted. You didn't think you had to go through that hell to get what you wanted. And you didn't. But you chose to look outside yourself. You chose to say you were in lack. You chose to say that was your only avenue, that was your only way. And you were convinced. People will pull on that lack button, right? But again, you got to take your part. You got to swallow that accountability. Because if you're not, then you can't see that as a weakness of yours. So you won't work on fixing that. So then you will forever be easily gotten. So you will continue to fall into trap after trap after trap after trap after trap for the rest of your life because you don't want to look at your portion. You don't have to worry about the monsters out there. You have to worry about you. That's the problem. We want to blame it on a bad guy. There is no one bad guy. We are all bad guys, and we're all good guys. It does. It's like they keep showing me this, and it's like it does. It feels like I'm being really harsh with people who claim to call themselves victims, and it's like it's because I don't want them to feel that horror in their body and that sadness and that helpless and hopelessness that'll lead to depression and lead to taking themselves out. It's faulty thinking. It was faulty thinking. How about this? Consider it like you have faulty thinking right off the bat. You have a hole right off the bat, right? You have a gap, a wound, right? A gashing wound. And people can see it. They know it. They can feel it. They can sense it. Predators know what to look for. They know how to dig into that, right? So you're not healing it. You're not recognizing it. You just live in that world of lack and you have that gashing wound. So they go in and they start digging and ripping it open, tearing it open. Now it is fucking massive. It's massive. I forget what my point was. I think it's that you're not going to be able to get out of your own way until you address that wound. And it's just getting bigger and bigger because more and more people are chipping away at it. It's like more and more predators, right? It's like they see a broken, bleeding animal. You're easy pickings. They dive in and tear you to shreds. So it's like Playing the victim, it's like hollering, putting on the red lights, screaming and hooting, over here, over here, over here, right? And it just has them come running. And then you wonder why you can't get out of your own way. So I know it sounds harsh, but it's like to wake you up to the reality. It's like, snap out of it. Let's look at the facts here. If you don't want that anymore, then you got to address this. You have to do your part. Because the thing is we're just passing this down and down and down. Everybody has to heal. Everybody has to love themselves. Because the more that do that, and the more that understand that, truly fucking get it, then they can pass that down to their children and their children and their children. We've talked about this many, many a times. Because until you do, you're just passing down wounds. You're passing down lack. You're passing down those vulnerabilities. And nobody understands or sees them. It just is part of who they are and how they are. That's the mentality. So until that mentality is truly, truly healed, it's going to constantly be like this. And as you see, it just gets more vulgar and more horrific. And so everybody has to do their own work. Everybody is responsible. There's no innocent parties. We all play a part and we all have to do better. But that's an individual thing. And that's truly your only protection. Really. It is sometimes like we have to get the harsh smack to wake us up. But some people don't ever wake up. They don't ever, it doesn't matter how many smacks they get, they still want to play whatever role or identity that they're claiming. They won't drop all that, all those egos and wounds and all that stuff. They hang and cling to it. It gives them an identity. But even this, it's like I debate, is it helpful? I don't know. Should I care? I don't know. I actually don't know. I really don't. It's gotten to the point where it's like, maybe, no. Maybe it's like, stop trying to assist or help or put out valuable information, in my opinion. And I'll go live my life. And I'll go live in my bubble and choose my focus, which means I won't be seeing or hearing or talking about this stuff anymore. And so it's the idea of taking my own advice and stop trying to help, even though it's coming through or channeling through that way. Yeah. I don't know, maybe the best thing to do for all of us. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.